Hey everyone, Claudia with Crazy Island Studios. Happy Friday. Good morning. I got my morning coffee and I'm ready to get started. It's early, so if I'm being quiet, it's just because, you know, the kids are sleeping. So I don't know what I want to do yet today at all, like not even a little bit. So, I don't know, just to be on the safe side, I think I'm going to tape my spine and gesso my page. I don't have masking tape anymore. Because all I have is blue tape, like blue painter's tape, and I have this artist tape, which is literally just called artist tape. I got it at my art supply store. It's good stuff. It's stickier than masking tape, which is really, really sticky, and it just doesn't want to come apart. There we go. Which is nice for in my spines because it sticks really well. So I like that, and it's white, so I don't have to work so hard at covering it up, or even if I just want to start with paint, it's white, so it goes with my journal page, so I kind of just like that. But just a quick coat of gesso, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so this is a really haphazard layer of gesso. I didn't go all the way to the edges. I don't have good coverage, and part of it's still a little wet because I touched it and it's on my hand, but I don't care. I'm just going to keep going, start doing some stuff. I don't know what I want to do today. I don't have a plan. I have no idea. It's Freedom Journal Friday, right? Plans are not required. Just rinsing my brush here on my very crickety little spot. There we go. Okay, so I got my Dilutions paints the other day. Thank goodness they finally came. It only took over 2 months to get here, and I just want to see some of the colors on a page. So I'm going to play with the pink and the turquoise, I think, today. So we're going to start with Bubblegum Pink. It concerns me, I will admit. I am going to do a little bit of how I feel about these paints a little later on another video, because like I don't know yet what I think of them. I'm really concerned about them being in pots, I have to admit. I'm messy, right? Like, I'm accident prone. I spill things. Am I gonna spill them? You know, there's gesso on my page that's wet, so it's mixing with the paint. Now it's on my brush. I'm sticking my brush back in. Like, it scares me. I don't know. I am not really sure what I'm thinking. They're pretty thick, actually. Considering how thin they really look whenever you see them demoing them. Maybe I should be using something different than a brush to be applying them, like those little sponge applicators that they always show little Miss Diane using. She's so cute. Oh my gosh, I just want to squeeze her. She's so cute. So this is a really fun color though. Look how pretty. Pretty. Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, especially having gone over gesso, it's kind of a thicker paint than I expected. I guess I expected it to be really, really fluid, and it's a little bit more heavier bodied than I expected. That doesn't mean it's bad, it's just different from what I expected. Okay, so do I care about the edges? I don't know. Okay, there's paint. I'm going to hit this with a heat gun, dry it. We'll come back and figure out what else we're going to do. Okay, so I decided next I'm going to throw some molding paste or modeling paste, if that's what you have. Doesn't matter. Same thing. Through, or at least close enough, through stencil on the page. Yeah, probably both sides. I think both sides. You know what? Maybe I want to stick some washi tape down first. Washi tape. So I do like this paint. It's kind of got a nice sheen to it with, you know, it's a little bit matte. It looks like if you put it on really thin, like she shows you, it would be more matte than what I got, but it's kind of cool. The color is awesome, right? Color is awesome. I like that a lot. I'll do a full review of what I think of it later. I don't have time to do it now, but I do think I like it. It's kind of cool. I got my washi tape down. I'm going to go over it with a little bit of matte medium because washi tape is not very sticky. It's not made to stay well, so it doesn't. And get my brush dried off. So it's a good idea to go over this with a coat of something to help collage it into the page and help it to stick really well. So I'm going to do this, and then I'll get this dry, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my molding paste, my stencil, and of course I'm going to create something that will take forever to dry, but it's what I want to do, so it just doesn't matter. I'm just going to need a whole lot more. This is a super thick stencil, isn't it? Oh, that's going to take forever to dry. I don't want to do that. Okay, let's pick something else. That up real quick, because everything's dry. You're not technically committed to anything. My stencil is super thick. It's actually not a stencil for modeling paste, it's a lettering stencil. And I like it on art pieces of artwork because it is big and chunky and fat, and I like that part of it. But for my journal page, it's probably not going to be the best choice. So I'm going to switch over to this little thin, I think this is yeah, Diane Reevely stencil. It's thinner, so it'll apply a thinner coat, which will be better for my art journal. It'll dry faster, plus it won't add so much bulk to the journal page. So okay, real quick before I heat this, you'll notice that when I applied it this way, I scraped off all of this lower part. I don't want to put too much chunky texture right in the spine, especially as I'm getting just started with the journal, but the more chunky stuff you put in the inside part of your pages, then the more big and fat your journal will get and the less it will lay flat. So I'm attempting to keep a little bit of that out of the very, very center of my, what is that? The seam at the center of the page. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go clean my stencils and hit this with the heat gun and get it good and dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and this is pretty dry. Next I think I want to try doing a glaze with the turquoise paint and see just basically how these paints work with the glaze. It'll be kind of fun to check that out. I'm so nervous about them being in pots. Like, I just know, oh gosh, see, things like that, and I'm gonna spill it. Ugh. How am I supposed to get that back in there without making a huge mess? Okay. Another thing that makes me nervous about the pots is the fact that you have this whole ring of the screw cap where paint can get on it like it has here, and then it seals itself shut, right? Like all my other acrylic mediums and such. So I might have to put the Vaseline on. It's a quick little tip on the outside of any of your jars on the threads. If you rub Vaseline the first time that you open them before they get all painty and gooey, then the paint isn't likely to stick and you'll be able to open your jars, because sometimes the jars of mediums get really gunked up. So I might end up doing that with these too, just because, like, I don't know. So I'm going to get out a little of this paint to make a glaze with. That's probably enough. I don't know, it's kind of a thicker paint. Let's get out a little extra just in case. Put this away. I'm going to use a satin finish glaze, glazing medium. Okay, so it mixed really quickly and nicely with the glazing medium. I like that. And let's just see what we get. I might have needed to make more. We'll see. Maybe I won't cover the page perfectly and it'll go further. Okay, so this is going to need to set for just a minute before I wipe it off. And you'll see that you'll have seen, yeah, I can't talk, that I rubbed it in a little bit extra around the edges. There's raw paper there because I didn't take my pink all the way to the edge, so that's going to dry first, and it'll be more likely to stay because it'll absorb into the raw paper versus applying it on top of the paint. It's going to stick really well on the molding paste because it's an absorbent material as well. So I'm just going to wait a little longer. I don't know how long on this paint because, you know, I don't use it. So let's just maybe not wait too long. Yeah, because, you know, Diane says it's a quick drying paint, so I don't want to leave it too terribly long, even mixed with the glaze. Now my baby wipe is the one that I was using earlier, and it's been sitting, so it's not totally dry, I mean totally wet anymore. It's a little dry. So let's just see what happens. It's kind of cool so far, I'm liking it. Could almost use a more wet wipe. Ah, there we go. That brings back more of the pink. I like that. Okay, that's kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to hit this with a heat gun and get it fully dry. It's only going to take a second because it's super thin right now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this might sound crazy, but I'm kind of curious to see what it would look like if I do a black glaze on top. Does that sound scary? It sounds a little scary, but a little exciting, and it's my freedom journal, so if I screw it up, who cares, right? So I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. Not to add a whole lot of black, like it's going to look a lot worse when I first apply it than it will whenever I get done. I'm going to try it in the dilutions just because now that I've started with this paint, I kind of want to just keep going with it and see what it does. But yeah, I'm thinking it'd be really nice kind of, like collecting around the letters like the teal did, the turquoise. So I'm just going to be brave and give it a shot, see what happens. I can always paint over it with gesso, right? Always can. Good amount of glaze in there. I'm thinking maybe, and it depends on what this looks like, maybe when I'm done with the black glaze, maybe a white glaze on top of it. I don't know. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. I just want to try it. So I'm going to just make sure this gets really well mixed up so that I'm not just applying straight paint. Alrighty. Get the water off my brush. Move this around a little. I might even avoid a little bit of this center area just so I don't get too much black happening, just in case, on a couple of spots, so I can make sure that I know I'm going to keep pink. And if any of y'all know me at all, it is killing me not to have a guard paper tucked behind these pages. I am painting, this is my back cover, I'm getting paint all over it. It's freaking me out a little. I'm trying really hard to keep this journal loose, free, let it get messy and grungy and not worry about it too much, and yeah, I'll admit it's a little bit difficult for me to not have guard papers to protect my other pages, but I'm gonna do it. I'm determined. But I will be cleaning up this stuff. I should use a wet one. Alrighty. While we're waiting, I'm cleaning up. So this needs to sit for a minute also before we go wiping at it. I'm going to use my semi-damp wipey that I had from the blue, and I'm going to have a fresh, clean wipey ready just in case it gets scary and I need to get some of that black off if it's sticking too well. So, fun stuff, yeah, fun stuff. Waiting, it's the hardest part, isn't it? Okay, I waited long enough. Let's see what happens here. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? I kind of like it. Kind of wish I had left more of it gunked up over here like it is right here. Ooh, that makes me happy right there. That's good stuff. Very good stuff. That's kind of fun. I need to wash my hands, but I don't know if I want to do the white glaze now because I kind of like this. I'm curious what a white glaze would look like, but I don't think that it's necessary. Let's get rid of all this black because this is very, very messy. My whole table is black smudged. Get some of that cleaned up. Okay, so what now? What do we want to do next? You know what? Give me a minute to think about it. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm thinking maybe some black drips just to kind of really bold up the amount of black I've got going on. So I've got my golden high flows here in black. If you don't have high flows, you can do this with just black paint and water. If you have a fluid acrylic, it would be better because you won't need as much water to make it super thin and make it drip. But you do risk if you use a heavy body, if you add too much water, it'll be more gray, it'll be more translucent. So a black ink would work, that would work too. I have this, so I'm using it, and I want to drip this direction. Okay. There's my drips getting started. I'm going to encourage them along. And instead of adding more paint, I'm going to spritz them with just some water in a spritz bottle. That just got everywhere, didn't it? I kind of like it though. Look at that. That's kind of cool. I might just stay like that. Interesting stuff. Okay, I'm going to have to dry this side before I try and work on this side, or else all this is going to run the wrong direction. So I'll be right back as soon as this is dried up. Got that started drying, and then I decided I wanted to run it a little bit further down the page. So I'm going to get some more drips going. So cool. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'm going to dry this again. I'm actually going to dry it this time, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's dry enough not to drip. It's not fully dry, but I'll dry the whole thing once I get done. But it's dry enough that it won't run drips down my page. So I'm going to do some drips on this side now. That just, gosh, that makes me happy. So happy! Black does not typically make me this happy, but oh my gosh, that is so fun. I like. Okay, so going to dry this just enough.